Good morning, friends and family. Sergeant OCD here. So, being OCD, I couldn't stop thinking about this thing and the way the stove operates, and I couldn't leave it at that. I did a part one, and then I poked more holes, these holes, for the part two, and now I'm going to make these larger. I'll probably go up here with the Unibit, make the same size hole as that. I think it's like a 7/8. But I need to get more air going through this thing because there's not enough. Obviously, if I have to use a blow tube, a bellow, and I actually saw somebody's comment the other day. It was on another video. I don't know why I couldn't get comments before, but now I get to read them on everything. So I don't know why I didn't see it before, but they were talking about how I use a tube, a bellow, which is the proper name for it, and you know, hardly anybody uses that anymore. And I mean, it was a great comment, and I've always used it, so I don't know why people don't use it. I did see somebody, I think it was Dave Canterbury, he used a metal tube, which I have with me in my LBE. Now, the reason I carry an LBE is because I got back problems, and I'd rather have the weight distributed on my torso rather than sitting on my hip or my pants. That's the reason I don't wear belt knives very much, because it puts a little bit of strain on my back. I found out later, you know, I found out probably 6 months ago that you shouldn't have your wallet in your back pocket, you know, especially when you're driving, because it puts strain on your back. So ever since I put it back in my front pocket, like when I used to travel, I haven't had a problem. So that's the reasoning behind that. So I'm gonna poke some holes in here and see what's going on. And these things, it says it's 50 degrees in here still. They don't work. So it was 35 degrees this morning, and it was probably close to that in here, maybe a little higher, 40 degrees. But this shop isn't insulated yet, so I'm gonna poke some holes, and so it's not pretty, but going with what I use for my canteen cup, having a lot of holes here to get more air in will actually ignite this fuel a little better, because you need air, you need oxygen, and you need fuel for a fire, you know, to have a successful fire. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to fire this thing up and see what happens. So I went ahead and poked more holes in the bottom. It's not pretty, but I'm not looking for pretty. I'm looking for function. I'll work on pretty later. As you can see in here, I got a little can. I put a little oil in there just to see what it would do. And yes, oil will ignite, and it's burning probably at 440 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's going to be there for the long haul. I threw my wood in here, and my choice of starting fires is cotton ball with petroleum jelly on it, as I've said before. Down, go down. So we're gonna see how much air this thing gets. I can get my cotton ball down. I'm just trying to light this wood on fire here. We'll see what happens. I think it'll work better. So you see I got it by the stove. I just, being OCD, you just can't stop thinking about this stuff and wanting it to work and wanting it to work the way it's supposed to. I also have some water, coffee boiling, because I didn't have enough coffee today. So I don't know if this is going to start. My smalls are a little large. Alright. Good old heat gun. Having a tube with a bellow on that is probably the best thing you can do to get something going, but it looks like this thing's going to fire up. I'm going to let this wood burn down a little bit, see if I can throw some more smalls in there. So one of the videos I watched, they took some screen and they made a kind of like an offset so you can put your pot on there. They also blocked the way to add wood, so obviously I got to take this off, and it's not boiling yet, but I'm going to add some smalls here, get them going, and ideally they should kick off themselves with the amount of air going through there. So I shouldn't need a bellow for this thing. Yeah, I grew up a city boy, so a lot of this stuff is new to me. I guess more of a military brat than a city boy. But I still have my other one, which once the fire dies down a little bit, but you see just poking those holes in there. So the next one I build is going to have 7/8 inch holes on all the bottoms, and I'll probably go a little bigger on the top too. But the idea of putting oil in there to burn along with the fire is more of a test, because my next one of these is going to be taller. The outside can is going to be taller. The inside can is not going to be, so I'm going to try to burn oil in it and make me a little oil burner. So it's not going to have the drips or anything like that. It'll be totally manual. But this thing is doing awesome. Let's see if it can boil this coffee. But, yeah, that was the trick. I'm going to catch all my other wood on fire. That was the trick right there, is to add those holes. Some ashes have fell down, so I need to not put it on this wood. I got a piece of wood that I got to put here. It's got metal on the outside from an enclosure, the back plate for an enclosure. So I just got to put that to one side so I don't ruin my axe on it, my hatchet. Of course, closing that door doesn't give my smoke a chance to escape. Don't touch that. No, I'm not doing that. But this thing gets really, really hot, and obviously it burns my stove. Ooh, stink bug. I hope you enjoy that. So it gets very, very hot. this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. So I got those things at the dollar store, but it's I think it's gonna be pretty unstable putting all this stuff on here. So I want to go to bigger pieces, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back on, simply because I need to feed it. And I want to see if it's going to go ahead and so without a fan on it or any type of blow tube, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be able to put in fuel and it to catch on fire. I mean, there's coals in there, and you see my poker stick is actually catching on fire. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my coffee back on top. This reminds me of a time when I lost my water when I burned out of my dad's canteen. It's very, very warm right here. And the flame is out on my oil. So I may have got 45 minutes out of that, but that's another test that I wanted to do today. My cotton ball's still stuck to it. I'm not a fan of this turning like this. Don't do this at home, boys and girls. It's gonna have to be the way it is. This is a little off-centered, so. I got a little bit of steam coming off of this thing now. I wanted to save that one. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna boil. Let's see. Start the time. Alright, so I had to do a little cleanup. Here's that board I was talking about. These are panels for a new enclosure. I was afraid that since this thing sparks a lot and the coals are falling to the bottom, I was afraid that it's going to catch something on fire. But in the meantime, I took it off back on. You know, we're about 8 minutes. So I think I would imagine 5 minutes with it, with the coals going, you could have yourself a good cup of coffee. So that actually, now I feel good about it. You know, like I said, being OCD is a little crazy sometimes, but now I feel good about it being a good stove. I can work on the other one at my leisure now instead of right now. So I'm gonna close for now, family and friends. God bless you. Like I said, keep up the comments. I do read them. I enjoy them. Like I said, there were not any bad ones, but now I would rate this stove out a 9 out of 10. I knock it down a little bit because, one, you do have to feed it a lot, but look at the size of it too. It's nice and compact. I found another stove cookware set that I've been trying to find. I did find one, that will boil water, and it's got pots and pans with it. It's a design from the Scottish people, and hopefully one day I'll be able to purchase it and show you guys that. But I gotta straighten up all my wood now. I've got this the way I want it, so I could actually put this back on here very quickly. I probably don't need the bottom now, so I think I'm gonna wait till it cools because it is a little warm. But that's a good stove. And if I wanted to burn this, you know, with that on it, I just can't feed it. But if I have high wood that I don't want the sparks even going through there, you know, if I'm in an area where it's very dry, then we can do that too. But I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. Last time I only made a half a pot, and I like strong coffee, but that was very strong. I thank my boss for giving me that coffee. I don't know why he didn't like it, but it's fine with me. You know, I was talking to a guy, he's like, oh, I order coffee from here, and I only drink this type of coffee. I drink coffee. I don't care what type it is. Corporal Kelly doesn't like, or he likes the chock full of nuts, or somebody mentioned chock full of nuts. That's what I don't like. I don't like the hazelnut. But I'll drink any coffee but hazelnut. Anyway, God bless your family. Take care. Have a happy Sunday. And I know that's tomorrow, but I've got my chores to do, laundry and lunches. So I will, as we used to say, catch you on the flip side. I know I'm a nerd.